Welcome to Morning Musings. I am Sue Pickering. I am a certified soul coaching practitioner, a psychic reader, and I help a lot of entrepreneurs on their path to discover their own light. And today we have still Tara from TSW Life Coaching, and
I don't
she
think I
is
can go anywhere because it's morning musings with Tara and Sue.
there we go. That's right. It is truly Morning Musings with Tara and Sue. It truly is. And
Hmm.
I'm so grateful that we have partnered up in this, just talking about what comes up. We never plan anything. We have a 10-minute sometimes only 10 minutes conversation prior to, and we just, whatever we're talking about it, here it comes. So today we're talking about spiritual bypassing. I feel that it is becoming more uh, prominent, I'll say, where we are seeing more of it. And spiritual bypassing is that defense mechanism that we hide behind our spirituality in not having those conversations, maybe those wounds that are there for us to really look at, and then we just kind of cover it up with our spirituality beliefs. So, yeah, welcome, Tara.
Well, that's quite an introduction.
It is. It was a lot. I could keep going.
It's it was the conversation that we kind of came up with because we were having it before. And you're right, it's so prominent right now. There are um so much is coming to light of people that we maybe hold in high esteem or give them the guru status, and it's coming out more and more that they're people. They have, and a lot, I won't say a lot, but that they're people and they have their own stuff. And I think it's a great reminder that we all have our own stuff, but we can choose to bypass it and be all, oh, I'm love and light, or we can choose to embody it.
Yes, embodiment is like it is a must for us to take what we have learned, what we know, what is our truth, and truly embody it, bring it in as our own. And I think that as we embody more, as we find our own truth, we can see it, especially as empaths, we can see other people when they're not in their truth, in on their path. I mean, and that's not to point any fingers. We're all on our journey. We sometimes we don't see stuff about ourselves as well. It's not just a one-way conversation here. But I feel the more that we embody, the more we can see how many other people are not embodying their truth.
So true. And the embodiment stage, from my opinion, is the hardest. It is um that move from knowledge to wisdom. It's okay, I've read the book, I know it. Okay, now you have to do it. And it's that walking that path and, like you said, really truly being in that, and really um yeah, being it rather than just knowing it.
Hmm.
And I know I use knowing when I'm talking about intuition, but knowing it knowledge wise is so different than actually being it. Because there are so many times where I've found in my own journey that I've had to come up against my parts of myself where I have to, yeah, have a little chit chat with, and I have to go back and say, sorry, that's not what I meant to say, or that's not my truth, or whatever, um, to actually be who I am. Does
Yep.
that make sense?
Yeah. And here's a little surface level of that is I know I need to meditate or take time to myself. I know that, but I never do it. That's not embodiment, right? So if you know it and you feel it, then you need to live it, right? be in congruence of who you say you are is an aspect of that.
I love that congruence. That's such a great word for it. And that's the hard part, really. We can, and this is what I've just kind of came to me, um, is that a lot of people, well, this is why they struggle. You know, they go to the courses or they do the workshops or they go to a retreat for 10 days and they do all the things and they get all the tools and then don't embody it. They embody it within that container, but as soon as they leave, they don't embody it and they don't walk that walk. And a lot of people can get, and I went through this too. So they can get in this spiritual, I call it my overlord. I think I've said this before, but that spiritual ego that's like, this is the right way to be a spiritual person. This is the wrong way to be a spiritual person. And it's like, that doesn't really, again, it's just development of another ego. It's another label is what's coming to me to grasp onto that still is like, oh, you have to do it this way, not this way. Or, and I go back to the love and light one. So
Yeah,
many people are like, well, I can't get angry. I'm love and light. Mm, bull
yeah,
because you can,
yeah.
and that's part of it.
And that is a type of spiritual bypassing. It truly is, right? Not wanting to face something or I need to be this way. You don't just become, one way overnight. You have to, work on that embodiment. You have to work on your own self in a deeper way and get out of your own way from learning that, from doing that. And anytime you are a victim, make an excuse, anytime you divert from facing something, you're not you haven't embodied and you are spiritual bypassing.
Yeah.
You're bypassing whatever it is that you need to look at. And we all do it at times, especially with family. It is something that we often it's sometimes easier to say it to clients or friends, but sometimes it's even harder with family.
Hmm.
And that's just part of who we are supposed to be, right? Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh, completely. And you're so right with the family thing. It's, and I feel for me, I have that agreement with, like, if someone comes to see me, there's that unspoken agreement of I'm, they're coming to me to say what I'm supposed to say, what I'm guided to say. But when you're with family, I'm not given that permission or I'm not, and it's really none of my business, but it's closer to you and it's harder.
Yep. And it may not be reciprocated the same way because of the history as what you would a client. So it becomes easier. There's less attachment.
Yeah.
There we go. So because with family, we do have that attachment because it's a lifelong, right? It's who we are, it's who we been around, all of the things. So we do have that attachment with every word we say if we want to face an issue or, um, and I'm hearing a lot of ego in this, like for some, I don't know who this is for. I could channel message here. There is a lot of ego with who you are sending the message to, whether, in your family. It's being met with ego is what I'm saying, right? Which is often the case, right? Because sometimes we don't want to hear what we don't want to hear. And it's easier to talk to a client because there's no attachment. It's my job, not my job. It's what I'm here, my purpose.
Yeah. And it's so, those were those patterns were born. And so it's very easy to slip back into that pattern. And so it takes a lot of that conscious awareness to not go back into it and to choose and not bypass it as well. Because that would be part of the bypassing too, is that going back into that pattern, but still having that um, knowledge or awareness where you go, okay, this is what I think, or this is what I believe, or this is who I am, but then go into that pattern. Is that I'm just I it makes sense to me.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. Yeah. And it's because that's how we are. We continue to keep going into the same patterns because um if we change that pattern, then we might have to face some things, or they may have to face some things, or right. So it's just easy to keep everything simplified. It's easy to keep, it's like continue to do the same thing and continue to beat your head against the wall.
Yeah.
Right? It's
It'll
like,
change the whole dynamic.
yeah,
And so sometimes it's easier to bypass and keep quiet than it is to change the whole dynamic.
it's like throwing a rock in a pond, right? And all of a sudden the mud comes up and it gets really murky and stuff. But if you never throw the rock in the pond, you never get to figure out what needs to be settled and when and how and to find that clear water again, right? It's just we don't disrupt it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I Go ahead.
no, go continue.
I was just gonna say, I think I don't know what I was gonna say now. It's gone.
Sorry.
No, it's
Um,
okay.
being uncomfortable is
Mm.
always when we are uncomfortable in, whether it's a conversation or doing something takes us out of our what being uncomfortable, you may not know what the outcome is going to be. That's the same as fear, right? It's lack of knowledge. But if we're never ever out of our comfort zone, nothing ever changes for us.
Very true. And I think, when we talk about family and we talk about bypassing and going into those old patterns again, we chose our family for a reason. They are not meant to be easy. They are our biggest teachers. And that's where we get to embody it is with our family because I just keep seeing concentric circles going in. And so it's easier out here. Okay, I can walk my path, but you get challenged more and more the closer you get to those, the closer you get the people that are closer to you, because they definitely um, are there to teach us that.
Yeah.
So embodying it can be easier with the outer circles, but once the intimacy is closer, um, it can be harder to embody it then, for
Yeah.
sure.
And I think it's even harder when you yourself, or not you, but whoever. Um,
Probably me.
no, we all have stuff to learn. Um, when we're on the path to not be that person and embody what we have really worked through in our life, I think that it is harder when the people on the other side of it, they're not in your circle of, where you are at. We always talk about, who's around your table, right? If they're not in alignment with you, they're not shouldn't be on your path with you. But with our family, it's family. You can't just say, well, you can. I shouldn't say you can't. But you can. But it's really hard when you don't have a choice in some cases. We all have choices to have them around your table
Yeah.
when they're not on the same journey as you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's a
Yeah.
long way of saying that.
Um, I think I'm not sure where I said this before, but it's learning that they still get a spot at the table, but they get like a back row seat.
Yeah.
And learning that, which can be difficult because again, that inner child in us um, is definitely wants that, has always wanted that, has
Yeah.
always wanted, and I mean, our society so pushes. the family and everything else.
Yeah.
And like I said, again, we chose our family, so we chose the lessons that we're learning from them. But sometimes we have to put them in a back seat at
Yep.
our table.
Yep. And know that we don't have to be accepted by all, because we don't have to be accepted by all. And that's where, if you have someone that comes into your life for a while and there's not that 100% acceptance and it has conditional love, what do? We keep going, we keep moving, and then those people fall away. But it's really hard when you are in those situations that you know that you won't be accepted, but yet you're still on the path with the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that can definitely bring out that bypassing.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And falling back into old patterns.
Yeah.
But like I was saying at the beginning, is that's also the opportunity to go, okay, and course correct, I guess, because I've had to do that. And I've had to sit with that many times because my ego doesn't like the course correcting, because there's still maybe some feelings there. And so it's like I don't want to tell them I was wrong, even though that's not
Yeah.
how I wanted to react, or that's not what I wanted to say. Um, but that's part of the growth, and that's part of the embodiment.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this came in when you were talking. Gonna put you on the spot, and I will answer it too. Is there an opportunity? Are there opportunities that it is okay to spiritual bypass for our own wellness? I don't know why that came in.
Well, that's a good question.
I go ahead. I'll let you
Go
answer.
ahead. No,
Okay. Okay.
I don't
I
know if
see
I have an
you. I
answer for
see you
that.
reaching for how you feel about that. I feel that there are times when it's not, I don't know, is it spiritual bypassing when we're in a conversation and we know we will never be met where we are at? And that's no right or wrong, right? So, are there opportunities? Is that spiritual bypassing? And if we know that we are not going to be met and never will be met on our spiritual journey, that it's okay to not get into a conversation, not get into the issues when we know that the outcome is not going to be in anyone's favor. It's not that it needs to have sides,
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Um, it's like one truth against another truth. Is it okay? Is that spiritual bypassing?
I guess it would for me, because I went back and forth as I was, um, I think it would be energetically how you feel. And is it spiritual bypassing because you don't want to go there? Then it's bypassing. Or is it, I love myself enough that I'm not going to go there? And then it's a self love wellness thing.
Yeah.
And so I think energetically it would be, am I fearing going there? Or am I just, it's pointless. So I'm not going there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for the question. It was a very good one for me right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
That was for
but
me.
yeah. Because I do feel that if you're in fear, then you are bypassing
Yeah.
because there's something you need to make light of or learn or know or see a space within yourself, your own light to
Hmm.
bring forward. But if you know that you are always going to met with conditional love, always, is it safe for you to continue to have the door slammed in your face? And when do you see your own love for yourself enough that you're not going to let the door close this time? You're not even going to open the door. Yeah.
And I think energetically that would be the difference.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think, yeah. And I just, this kind of came up when you were saying that too, is maybe it's not aligned right now for you too, because
Mhm.
maybe it's not the time in this moment. Maybe it's a time later down.
Yeah.
Um, you're not meant to have that conversation now, or you're not meant to. Um, but again, if you are being in your truth and you are in alignment, then you will feel that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. And maybe you need to turn that knowledge into wisdom before you have, you know, that where it's embodied. I'm not ready yet because I don't live, however, for me to say that whatever I need to say, right? Because
yeah.
sometimes we just don't have the knowledge, right? We can only meet people where they're at as well as for ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. Could go deep. I would love to hear what people think about that question too. Because this is for the viewers as well. It's not just us just chatting. It's always good though. But yeah, I'd love to hear what people feel about that because I mean there is a fine line there between bypassing and honoring and loving ourselves enough to speak or not. There's a lot. And I feel that right now there is a lot of um gurus right now, and there's a lot of a space where there's a lot of ego in spirituality. I mean, I think we're coming from the masculine side that is there's good masculine, don't get me wrong. The masculine side where it has wants power for the wrong reasons, right? Money, power, all of the things. I'm up here, you're down, right? So we're
Yeah.
going through that breaking away. And how can you not have ego in spirituality when we've lived it for most of our life, right? So I think it's a space where it's more recognized now when we're bypassing than ever before.
Well, and I think that brings up such an interesting point because you may wholeheartedly believe what that
Yeah.
person or whatever is saying, and they may have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but have their own. And we all have our own shadows,
Yeah.
and so there is no one, there is no one above anyone else, and they may be, yeah. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people are being forced to look at their uh, wounded masculine ego attachments to things. And that's why we're seeing a fall of things like that because it's coming back to that oneness,
Yeah, for sure. And I catch myself too. I'll go, oh, that was total ego.
right?
Right? We like, no, just let it go.
Yeah.
We we do it. We're all human.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why we're here to be human.
Yeah.
And yeah, I catch it too in myself, and it doesn't feel very good. And like I said, that's that's who usually is the part of me that does not want to course correct. And then it's like, but my soul part is like, yeah, that doesn't feel good. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel good at all. And
That's
you're
not
like,
love and light.
yeah.
No,
Well, and I
no, I'm
mean,
just kidding.
it's true though, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel right within me. And so it's like, oh, yeah, I have to do. And sometimes it, like you said, it's maybe I don't have to, maybe I just need to reconcile it with myself,
Yeah.
but be willing to embody and walk in what our truth is. And that is taking those missteps.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And I used to be a reader that um was really like only wanted to people to see the good, right? I am a very positive reader when I'm reading and coaching, But there's a space where I go, I've had people in the last, oh gosh, couple of years say, you know what, I love your readings because you just say it. You just say it, you know. You need to step more into your light. You need to, right? I don't say need. That's bad. Um, you know, guided to, right? There's more, you know, more of that guidance from a space just like you. It's like there's spaces. This is your masculine. You need to, I'm saying need again. I don't know why I'm saying that today, but guided to clear this out. This is a space your soul is saying, let's go. And I think that we need to be in a space where we can just say it with love, not from a space of attack. Um, as long as it's met with love, right?
Hmm.
And integrity, of course, that's number one. Uh, because sometimes, if you don't have that uncomfortable, like I will say, you need to, have a boundary. If you don't have that uncomfortable conversation, you're still going to be in the same space you are in a year from now. You're still going to be taken advantage of. Uh, and I feel that that's where, when our truth is speaking and we embody it ourselves, it's easier for us to, be open and truthful to other people
Hmm.
because we live it,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight,
No,
you know? It's easy to stuff things away and not speak.
it is.
Yeah.
And that comes back to maybe it's not time to speak. Maybe
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
but it embodiment, I don't know if I said it, but I know I was going to say it before. Uh, it's hard. It's great to have all the knowledge and it's great to have all of that understanding, but if you're not willing to completely allow it to be a part of who you are, then you're still keeping it at a distance.
Yeah.
And that is difficult. It's difficult to allow that because I feel um, a lot of us fear that because that is our true power is when we are being that authentic, and a lot of us really fear that power.
Yeah. And I feel as AI continues to get bigger and stronger, it is getting harder and harder to embody when it comes to, yes, our truth is our truth. But if you are someone, say, like us, we're coaches, I can read it and ask AI. I can ask all of the questions. I can learn from it, but I can also just speak it rather than taking it in. Is this truth? Is this congruent in who I am so I can share it? Or am I just taking this and sharing it? Right? It's taking it from here to here. Asking tough questions is one way to know if it's embodied
Yeah,
because you're reaching deep down and it's coming out as your truth, not just uh, uh, an answer that is wrought.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And as an empath, you feel that too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um, you can feel if it's coming from truth or if it's coming from up there.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. So,
Well, and I would say 95 to 98% of us live within this area only. And embodiment is allowing it to be not at the thinking process,
yeah.
allowing it to be in the heart process, in the body and through the body. And I mean, there's so many things we could go on that.
Oh, yeah.
But embodying it literally means it is moving through your body. You're allowing that light to move through your body. And that is, and it does when you embody it too, it does feel in the body.
Yeah.
And that's
There-
why there's so much on the nervous system right now
right.
too.
Yeah. And there's no attachment to what you feel. There's zero attachment. That is one of the hardest parts of embodiment too, is having no attachment. We want the best for people, or, we want to not hurt someone's feelings, or we, however that looks in whatever example you want to use it in, because it's not just having conversations, but it's, there's no attachment.
Hmm. And no expectations, which is kind of the same as attachment,
Exactly.
but it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can still have integrity, but we can't. Yeah. That's another conversation. I can go so deep.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say about the integrity, but not at the expense of embodiment of our truth.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
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 And I'm going to say nothing then becomes at the expense of the embodiment. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And our own truth,
Yeah.
not just the truth, because what is the truth? We have our own.
Wasn't it funny though? And here we go on another tangent. Isn't it funny though how the more you can allow, the more embodied you are, the more the truths are the same.
Yes, it's just in another language, maybe.
Yeah. Or it's come a different way. But yeah, it's just, yeah. The truths are the truth. And how you get to it is not through a book, but through embodying it.
That's right. Yeah. Through your own filter.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how your body is wanting to, and your body, mind, and soul are wanting to unpack it to get you to understand the truths.
Yeah.
Because that's why all our paths are different.
True. Truth.
Truth.
I feel that. Yeah. Okay. I think that's good enough for today. We could go so
I know
maybe
there's so
we need
many
to teach a
tangents we
class
could
on
go
this.
on.
Yeah, maybe we need to teach a class on this to go really deep into it. Yeah. So if anybody wants that, just let us know. We'll that's what we do.
We do.
So,
And I want to say about the questions too. Um, they're awesome because they're a learning for all of us.
yeah.
And so, you know, don't feel shy about it or anything because questions help us learn too.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And we love to learn.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But when we ask questions, it puts us into a space where we maybe have to reach for that answer, or we have to see where it sits in us, and it allows anyone that asks and anyone that listens to the answer can really go deeper into who they are, what their truth is, what they feel. That's why I love my classes that I teach, but it's all kind of, I've gotten to a space where I have this much material in this much time as I get bigger. Opening it up to the open conversation as well, because that is where the growth is in many cases, right? It's not just reading it from a book, like taking it from here to here. It's where we all grow, not just as a student, but as a teacher as well.
Absolutely. And the same with me. That's where the energy is flowing. And that's where we all learn from each
Yep.
other about
100%.
back to that oneness.
Yeah, that's right. So awesome. Thank you,
Okay,
Tara.
cut us
I
off quick.
appreciate you. And again, if you guys have any questions, please do. I would love to hear what you feel about this. It's kind of a touchy subject, it can be. Any conversations you want us to have in the future, we would love to meet you in that space where we can talk about it and go with where it goes. And if you want any coaching or healings from Tara, everything will be in the description for all of her contact information, all of where you can find her on socials, her website, all of those things. If you are wanting us to do a Essence revival, we call it a healing, please do reach out. The link is in the description as well. And I know I have mine pinned on all of my socials to just click on it right off the top. And it's always in my newsletters and it's on my website. And I think it's the same for Tara too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much and have a magical day. Much love.
See you.